Hello everyone, welcome to the session. So we're going to get straight into it this morning. So get your ball at the ready. We're going to get ourselves warmed up, and then I'm going to take you through loads of different tricks and skills that you can master with this ball. Well, not this one, but your one at home. So with your ball, guys, in the space where you're training, you want to get as much space as you can, but for the tricks I'm going to do, you don't really need like a massive amount of space. So even if you're just in your front room, it's completely fine. So we're just going to get ourselves warm. You can start to move behind the ball, and then we're going to jog on top of the ball. Just get yourself limbered up, ready for the session, on your toes, little tiny touches on top of the ball. And if you want to, you can start to move forward, you can start to move backwards, side to side. And try as well to keep your head up so you're looking forward. Maybe look down for a bit and then raise your head. But if you kind of look forward, straight ahead, you can get into a position where you can see the ball, the bottom of your eyes, but you can also see what's around you as well. It's going to be really helpful if you play football. Okay, let's go insides now. So insides, start slow. And then we'll build up to a little jog. Nice little touches from one side to the other. And just like with our toe taps, you're going to move forward and backwards, side to side if you can. And just be wary of where your eyes are. So you can keep them on the ball as you're getting warmed up. But eventually you want to lift your head a little bit, test yourself. Can you feel the ball? You can see it slightly at the bottom of your eyes. You can also see what's around you as well. Okay, we're going to go into our little Ronaldo switch now. So what we do with this one is every few touches, and you can go slow if you want to, just pass it behind the opposite foot. So you're going to pass behind, and then again, pass behind, and then start again. So when it goes up on your toes, you can maybe start to add a bit of speed in there as well. But you're basically chopping behind the leg and then bringing it forward. Chopping behind the leg and then bringing it forward. So we'll start off slow and then build up from there. Maybe start to move forwards and backwards if you've got the space at home. Or who knows, you might be on a football pitch doing this. That would be good. Last few seconds, guys. Get as many touches in as you can. Okay, so we're gonna now go to side, but with the sole like this. So nice and wide. But you want to get up on your toes ever so slightly, just to make it a little bit faster. Remember, if you're struggling, just go back to the slow, but keep the ball moving and try and get it as wide as you possibly can. So if you can test yourself to go even wider, then you can do that, and then start to get up on your toes. And you can even start to move forward as well and move around the space that you've got. Well done, guys. So nice rhythm, not too rushed, just a nice rhythm. Start to feel yourself, maybe get a bit out of breath, start to feel yourself warming up, which is what we want, so keep it moving. Okay guys, hold it there. We're going to go back to that first skill that we did, but now we're going to add a touch in behind. So if you've not done it before, I'm not going to look at it from behind because it's a better angle to see what's going on. So every third touch, I'm taking a touch behind. So I'm going 1, 2, 3. And then I go again, 1, 2, 3. So every third touch is a bit like a Rabona, but you're not kicking it, you're just touching it with the sole of the foot. So it's 1, 2, touch, 1, 2, touch, like that. And then what I like to do is build up that speed. Whoop, not like that, that was a bit too much. And then we can get into a little bit of a rhythm like this. And then you can start to maybe lift your head, work around the space. And if you want to take it back to walking speed, that's absolutely fine. Remember, with all these skills and techniques, master it first. Technique over speed always. Because speed comes eventually when you practice. So even if this session you want to get it right technically but slow, it doesn't matter. Because tomorrow you'll be able to go a tiny bit faster, and the day after a tiny bit faster than that. Until one day you could become the next Ronaldo, who knows. So guys, that was our quick warm-up. We're going to go over some akka moves today in this session. So the akka move, in its basic sense, is 2 touches in one go. And the aim of the akka is to take the defender one way and then bring him back the other. So you take the defender one way, and then that creates some space for you in the opposite direction. Ronaldinho used to do this so well. Neymar does it quite a lot. Cristiano Ronaldo. So maybe check out a few clips. But here, this is how it works. So we've done it in the sessions before, which means I'm going to take it on to the next level. But we're just going to recap some of the first akkas, or elasticos. If you're from Brazil, you know elastico is the right terminology, because they call it like an elastic band. Comes out to the side and back in again. And it was invented by a player called Rivellino all the way back in 1970, a long time ago. So it's quite an old skill, but since then there's been lots of variations. And like I say, some of them I'm going to cover right now with you. So to start with, guys, with the ball in front of you, we're going to use the sole quite a lot initially. And what you're going to do is push to the side and then stop. So push out to the side and then stop. So remember, when you're pushing the ball, go to the outside. So outside, I always think outside to my ears. So go outside, stop, and then kind of take a beat and then go into the next one. Remember, technique over speed, don't rush it. So out to the side and stop, out to the side, stop. So let's just get used to that just for a little bit, just to get used to where our body is, where our feet should be moving. Stop, side, stop, side, stop. And then what I like to do with this one is start to move up on my toes, just slightly. So up on the toes, speeding it up a bit. And then you can even go into a bounce like this. Let's go to the opposite side now. So for me, I just went on my right side. So now let's go to the opposite. So for me, it's my left now. Back and stop. Out to the side, back and stop. So focus on, again, technique. And what I was saying before about moving the ball nice and wide, this is key in this skill, because you want to make the ball go as wide as possible, because that makes the defender actually think you are going that way. Whereas if you just go like that, it's not going to fool anyone. So really exaggerate that movement and then bring it back. Start to exaggerate and then bring it back. So once we've done it on both sides, we're going to put those two together now, and we're just going to go from one to the other, one to the other. So again, just get it as wide as you can and really focus on your technique. And then we can start to maybe go a little bit faster, and you're almost then dancing with the ball like all the best players in the world would. So nice technique first, and then just go to your own speed, and then get up on those toes. And if you can, remember, head up. That's what I'm trying to get to. Trying to keep my head up, see what's around me, but also keep this ball under control. Awesome, guys. Now, something that you can practice maybe on the pitch is you can maybe put a cone in the middle, and then you can do the skill past the cone and bring it back. So when you've got the space and you're not maybe in a lockdown situation, you can do this on a wider pitch, in wider spaces, and then get used to actually dribbling with speed. So maybe consider that in your training. Now, this next move, what we're going to do is add a step from behind. So we're going to push the ball out, but as soon as it comes back, we're going to push it behind this leg here. So the move looks like this. So again, let's start super slow, ball in front of you. You're going to lead with the sole to the outside. So make sure you drag it out. And as you bring it in, you're basically doing this Ronaldo kind of chop to bring it behind. So this is really helpful because you're actually shielding the ball from the defender. Your body is in the way. It's between the ball and the defender. So here's the ball, out to the side, switch over, and then the ball is here. So just start to get familiar with the move, bring it back. And guys, you can start to dribble around your space using all the different body parts that we've used, and then throw in the skill. You can even throw in the first one if you want to. This is just all about you getting comfortable with the ball, thinking of new ways of dribbling. So out to the side, cut, and then back. And then you might want to try on your other side, bring it back. You might want to try on your other side and cut back. So just keep that ball moving and try and get those akkas in as the ball moves side to side. Okay, guys, hold it there. We're going to step things up slightly now. So this trick is called the knee akka. Putting myself on the spot here, but I'm going to try and do it. So the knee akka is where the ball comes up. So it's a bit like freestyle in the fact that we flick it up. But what we do is, and this will take a bit of time to master, but hopefully I can break it down so you can learn it fast, is take the ball out, this time with the knee, and back with the foot. So this is a very much a street soccer move. It's quite popular with the guys that play street soccer, like Pano 1v1, because if you're stuck in a corner and you can't go through or around, then you can take the ball in the air and be even more creative. And this is where that move comes in. So to break it down again, your first step would be a flick, and then your second step would be the out and then in again. It's actually maybe 3 steps because this second step where you're going 1, 2 is 2 touches, right? So I'll do it a couple of times. Like that. Like that. Let's go on then, really. Now, firstly, guys, we're going to focus on that actual flick up. That is very important. So we're going to flick it up, but what you want to do is flick it up outside slightly. So rather than do your normal roll scoop, which we've done before, we're going to do that exact move, but it's going to come up on the outside of your foot, which makes it a bit different. So we're here, outside like that. So what I used to do was just practice this, like, just to get used to it on its own. So you're up, flick, and then maybe catch it. You can do kick-ups as well, but remember, we want to go into this akka. So if you can do it, maybe start to try the akka. I'm trying to go at a slower pace. So if someone can't do this, then they can learn it on this section, or at least understand it, and then go off and practice. So you're going to flick it up to the side, and then back, up to the side, and then back. So this is key because the ball doesn't want to go either side, doesn't want to go too low, or, I mean, you need a lot of power, but you don't want to get it too high either. You want it to get it up to your knee. So every time you flick it, you want it to come up just to the side of your knee. Now, breaking the move in 2, we're going to start now with our hands. And what I want you to do is just start with a bounce, knee touch, toe touch, catch. We're diving straight into it. So bounce, knee touch, toe touch, catch. It doesn't matter too much about the width of the move going like out here too much. Just focus on getting those double touches in. You can actually do it forward and back like that. Sometimes you see players doing this kind of thing. Ronaldo used to do that quite a lot. He played for Brazil. When he'd have his back to his opponent, he'd sort of have all this strength, and what he would do is take the ball with his knee and then flick it over his head. It's that same movement, but out to the side this time. So, apologies, I'm rambling on. I'm just trying to describe the ways of using this move. So, you're going to bounce out to the side, push in again. Bounce out to the side and push in again. And once you get used to this movement, start to push it. Maybe push it a bit further to the side. Maybe put a little bit more speed on it. Maybe put a bit more bounce on it and really emphasize that movement. And then you would take the bounce away. So just throw it up, then do the skill. Throw it up, do the skill. And then you would eventually put it all together. So again, I'll just try and do one for you. So flick it up, out to the side. That last one for me wasn't the best, but it still works. Even if you get your touch out, not too much. As long as you bring it back, it's gonna make your opponent, it's gonna confuse them. They don't know what's going on. So here, out to the side. Too bad. You notice as well, you can do it as a flick up skill. So if you get it where the ball pops straight up, then you can just carry on learning your kick ups. So there's lots of different ways of using it. So last for you guys. And remember with the knee akka, this is something like with the around the world and other tricks that I've gone through. They take a lot of practice. They take a lot of sort of repetition. So hopefully this video will show you the basics of how to break it down. But don't worry if you can't do it straight away. That takes time. So you can always come back to this link in the future and you can pause it, practice for 5 minutes, go back, watch it again, and also look online as well. I always find it really helpful to watch somebody do something first that I can't do, and that just has this really interesting effect where it almost tricks your mind into believing you can do it because you've already seen it in your mind. So don't rush the process, enjoy it, repeat it as much as you can, and it will become like second nature in no time. So before we go, guys, I'm going to do one last little blocking skill, which is a bit of a repeat, but it ties in quite well to this last move. So we're going to flick the ball in the air and we're going to try and grab it between our knees. So what we've done there is with our knee akka out to the side, try and get a better one than that. There we go. You're going to flick the ball straight up now, bounce it, and then I want you to try and catch it in the knees like that. So if you want to take it back a step, you can just bounce the ball and catch it. But now I want you to start to maybe lose the hands and just make it a bit harder for yourself. So flick up, bounce, catch. Can you roll it up and go into kick ups? Little challenge for you. Bounce, catch, roll up. Just a note as well, if you go into your kick ups, always go with your laces first and try and keep the ball nice and low. Below the knee if you can, nice and low. Okay, so here. Another one you can try, I'm throwing loads of things for you to maybe work on at home here, is from the ankles to the knees. So you're going to go ankles first, and then as you jump up, you're going to try and lock it into this position. So this one's all about timing. Got to have a bit of a delicate touch as well. So jump up, and then there. So going back to one of the first skills that we learned, when we jumped up super high like that, now it's going to go into the knees. So it's basically one step up to the next step, which is the knees. So here, here. Don't worry, it will slide out, the ball will fall. I'm used to it, I do it every day, but be patient. And again, if you're struggling with it, you can go back to a drop and a catch. You can maybe do it without it. You can do it without the bounce if you want to, and just go in there. But I think it's quite nice to learn it from your feet, because eventually you want to get rid of using your hands. So feet, up to the knees. And if you've seen some of the other sessions, I actually went through a way of doing the around the world from here as well. So the around the world from here looks like that when you do it in its entirety. Again, that takes practice, but a really cool way of doing it is just to let that ball bounce. So you're in this position, and as you let it bounce, you're just going to go around, and then you don't need to do loads of kick-ups, you can just kick it and catch it, but just get used to going around the ball as you let it go. So you're going to lift up and around, kick, and then catch. It helps you get the technique for the around the world, because you can't just let it go and then go around, because that's not going to work. You have to lift your foot up to go around it, and that will help you with your around the world. So guys, get out and give those moves a try. Thank you for watching. I think the warm-up skills will help you with your footwork. So if you wanted to go over those, and you can maybe memorize some of them for your own training. And then more of the akkas, the more advanced akkas, like the knee akka, they do take a bit of practice. So you can always come back to this link, and then you can watch it again. You can pause it, practice. Maybe it might be on your phone or your iPad. I think it's amazing the technology we have now. So if you use it to your advantage with your learning, i.e. having it on your phone while you're at the training pitch, that's a really big advantage that we have nowadays. So use the skills and use these clips to further your development with the ball. And I sound like a broken record, but it all does come down to putting the time in. And that doesn't need to be 5-10 hours a day all the time. Sometimes athletes do that, but 5 minutes a day of exercise and work with the ball over a week is 35 minutes. Quite a long time if you add that up over 2 weeks, a month, 5 years, 10 years. In fact, over 10 years, that's a long time, and you can master something in that time. So just be mindful of the little wins each day, even if it's just getting out, kicking the ball around for 5 minutes. Like I say, it will have massive benefits on your health. So have a fantastic day. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in another session soon.